I got a great example here of why it's so necessary to use a lot of caution with ancestry hints. So I'm starting with this marriage record. It's 1914 in Terracini, Sicily. My initial impression was, oh, do I have another cousin marriage here? Because you see the names, Niccolo Pellerito and Caterina Pellerito, and of course the age is it's not a child marriage, but we got 35, and then the ages are here. So I do have them on my tree here. You can see, and I have a hint here, and I know that they're drawing. Should be of concern if you're familiar with a lot of ancestry or MyHeritage, or just amateur genealogy in general. Even though they're pulling from other people's tree, that's based on the accuracy that of the work that those people have put into their tree. So you got to use a lot of caution. And I'm not saying that they're, and not all the hints are wrong. They're not all going to be like this, but this is definitely a red flag. This is definitely something we need to be aware of, why it is so important that if you don't have documentation, and I know I've done videos where you got to take the documentation with a grain of salt, especially when you have these child marriages or cousin marriages, but at least you're going off the documentation. Chances are that most of the information on this record is valid. Always better to have, as many records as you can, so you have birth records and civil birth records you can compare to the baptism records of the church. But this is what I'm going from, and so I do have them on my tree. And it gives these hints of the parents. And I'm going to blow that up a little bit there for you. And, it looks, you think that not bad if you didn't have the record. Problem here is that Calogero and Grazia Serra are Caterina's parents.
I'm shocked.
So if you go here, you can see Calogero and Grazia Serra. They have the wrong parents. Those are her parents. So I already have them on the tree. I'll just go through and graphically show you there. Yeah, see, they're already on the tree as her parents, not his. I know he's got the same name and they're probably cugini, but that's not what we're doing in this particular video. So you can see there, Niccolo Pellerito. Yeah, Niccolo's parents come up as Calogero and Grazia, which is his in-laws. So again, we go to the actual record. Again, there's Calogero and Grazia Serra. And you can see that his parents' names, I'll take it down there, are Matteo and Concetta Alua. I mean, it's not even close. It's not even close. So this is why we got to use a lot of caution, and probably you can go in here and you can see whose tree it is. Let me see. I'll just take a moment there. I can see whose tree this is. I'm not going to put that in the video. I'm not going to let you see that. But we can see, and now I can actually go and let them know that if they have that this is wrong. They've got the wrong parent child relationship there. So I'm gonna just exit out of there. I don't want to publicly embarrass anybody. But that's a good thing there, is that we can then let them know that, hey, you got some wrong information there and you're able to prove that because the records show that those are his in-laws. They are not his actual parents. So that's just a short video on why we need to use a lot of caution. Don't accept a hint just because it comes up. And I wouldn't accept a hint just because it's on a trusted tree. You got to have the documentation like this. You got to have the documentation before you put it on your tree. Because what could happen is somebody else could just go in and see the hint on your tree, and they'll just perpetuate wrong information. So if you don't want to navigate these landmines yourself, which are unfortunately inherent in genealogy work, you can contact me in the description.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.